everyone, and welcome back to my Bible study. Today we're going to look at Genesis chapter 22. So to most of you, this passage is very familiar, and here Abraham's faith and loyalty and love to God is tested. And as we know in the past studies, that Abraham had a lack of faith. And that was when he told the king that Sarah is his sister instead of his wife. He did not have enough trust in the Lord. But here you will see that he has brought all his love and faith and loyalty to the Lord by obeying him with this command that he should sacrifice his son Isaac. Genesis chapter 22, verse 1 and 2. Now it came to pass after these things that God tested Abraham and said to him, Abraham. And he said, Here I am. Then he said, Take now your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah, and offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains of which I shall tell you. Verse 3 to 5. So Abraham rose early in the morning, and saddled his donkey, and took 2 of his young men with him, and Isaac his son. And he split the wood for the burnt offering, and arose and went to the place of which God had told him. Then on the 3rd day Abraham lifted his eyes and saw the place afar off. And Abraham said to his young men, Stay here with the donkey. The lad and I will go yonder and worship, and we will come back to you. Verse 6 to 8. So Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering, and laid it on Isaac his son. And he took the fire in his hand and a knife, and the 2 of them went together. But Isaac spoke to Abraham his father, and said, My father. And he said, Here I am, my son. Then he said, Look, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? Abraham trusted the Lord. Verse 9 to 13. Then they came to the place of which God had told him, and Abraham built an altar there, and placed the wood in order, and he bound Isaac his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood. And Abraham stretched out his hand, and took the knife to slay his son. But the angel of the Lord called to him from heaven, and said, Abraham, Abraham. So he said, Here am I. And he said, Do not lay your hand on the lad, or do anything to him, for now I know that you fear God, since you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me. Then Abraham lifted his eyes and looked, and there behind him was a ram caught in the thicket by its horns. So Abraham went and took the ram and offered it up for a burnt offering instead of his son. Verse 17, I will multiply your descendants as the stars of the heaven and as the sand which is on the seashore. So God instructed Abraham to go on the mountain and to Moriah, which this spot in the modern English means my teacher, God. So he did what the Lord told him to do, and he did attempt to sacrifice his son. And as we know, that an angel came and stopped him from sacrificing his son, so he did pass the test. So, why did God test Abraham with this hard test? It was to teach him the outcome of true faith. And through this, he was able to come into a higher spiritual position, knowing that in all situations that you can trust God. So later, we can read that Abraham went back to Beersheba, and that spot is where, if you can remember, the well and the oath was made between Abimelech and Abraham. And I have to apologize. I read it in German last time and said Abimelech, and actually the proper English word is Abimelech. So that was the lesson for today. And I want to invite you all next week to join me in Genesis chapter 23. And I want to say, God bless you all until the next time.